Explaining the unexplainable is something our next guest is in tune with. As a medium, Jennie Ogilvie is able to, believe it or not, talk to the dead. Hi, how are you, Jennie?
Good morning, how are you?
Good. Is it true? Is it true that you can actually talk or communicate with those who have passed on?
Absolutely. I think it's oftentimes people ask me, how is that possible? And, I've had a connection with spirit, as you'll mostly find with people who do this work. I've had a connection since they were young. And at the age of 6, I was able to connect with those who have crossed. So basically, starting out I worked on some murder cases and some missing children cases. And from there, just trying to find my way with kind of how that delivery was supposed to happen with readings. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it is possible, but we all have our own intuition, our own abilities, which is also one of the things that we do here as well. With Beth and I, we put on workshops and stuff to be able to help you understand how to connect to your own psychic abilities as well.
There is a difference between a psychic and being a medium.
Absolutely, and
and you're a medium.
Absolutely. So I always use the ladder effect. So here on the top of the ladder is you and your everyday intuition. You think about somebody and they call. You've had that happen, right? Mm-hmm. So then the next step down would be psychic. So human spirit to human spirit. So I'm connecting around your energy and what I see around you. And then mediumship is human spirit to disincarnate spirit, so those who have crossed. So they're just different levels of vibration, as I'd like to call it. I mean, everybody has their own way of talking about it and explaining it, but I try to make everything simple with what I do.
And how did you discover this? Were you a kid when you discovered you were communicating with, how did it all come about?
Something odd happened to you?
Yeah, well, it actually is very simple. And I was laying in bed, and it seems like yesterday, even though I'm not 6 anymore, I'm far from it. But I was laying in bed and this older lady had come to me and she had said that when I'm ready, I'm going to work with them. And it was really it was really that simple for me. And ironically, and I work with a lot of children through with their parents, understanding what's happening in their homes, or understanding what their children are seeing. And but there was just such a calmness that I felt that day, that evening, and it was just always an awareness for me. And then it just really, the older I got, and when I really just needed to start working, because she said, when you're ready. And so some life had to happen before I was ready.
Walk us through this. I've never been to a medium or a psychic before, so I'm curious.
Yeah.
So someone comes to you, they call you up and says, hey, I'd like to have a chat with you. And then take us through the process. Well,
my lovely booking manager, Beth, first of all, does everything for me. But basically, some of the questions well, actually, instead of the questions, what we say is, I just want you to come and be open-minded. It's much like you walking into a room and not knowing anybody. You can really feel their energies. So the more open you are, the more able I'm able to work with you, actually. And so from there, I like to look at it as a chat, like two old friends getting together just to catch up.
Sure.
And as I do that, the more open that sitter is, it just starts to come almost in like flashes, or like what do you call that? Like a little frame, or I'll hear something, or I'll smell something. So there's different ways to connect. But basically, I just want you to come with no expectations and just be open to whatever comes. There is absolutely no set way that I do a reading. They're all very different.
And are you ever out in the community, like at the grocery store, and
yes.
you're like,
yes.
Do you go up to people and tell them?
Yes.
You can't hold it in, can you?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's that experience like for people when you just, excuse me, I'm a medium, and I explain
Well,
that?
I guess you're going to have to ask them. So actually, I was at an event out in Bright Creek recently, and I really don't get out much for just being social, because I'm always working, it just starts to come out as if I'm just saying hello. I'll just say, your mother's here. Would you mind? Would you like to receive some messages from her? And we just start talking, and it's just it's a quick little communication, then off we go.
Fascinating. There's an event coming up.
Yes, actually, there's two on. We do several generally, but the first two that are coming up for Halloween,
Airdrie
and Turner Valley. And so basically it's ticket sales. You come in and you're what's called a gallery reading. So there'll be between 60 and 100 people there, and I stand up and I walk through the crowd and I give messages.
Wow.
So it's really important that you understand too that when you're in a gallery reading versus a private, this is all about you know, some simple information that's coming through. I don't divulge any personal information in a large group, but privates are very intricate, and I absolutely love what I do.
Sounds
very
fascinating.
interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, next time we'll have to get you to do a reading for a caterer myself. That'd be really, really cool.
Absolutely, anytime.
Oh, I love it, love it. She is Jennie Ogilvie. She is a medium, and it's so great to have you here on our little pre-Halloween set.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hey, by the way, there's a lot of things happening in and around our city, including Phantom of the Opera. They celebrate Halloween as the Calgary Society of Organists presents, get this, the 1925 black and white silent film version of the Phantom of the Opera with live accompaniment by David Baskerville. Cool. October 31st. You'd like more information? Go to www.rccocalgary.org. This is Trending on Shaw.